Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Beast for Build. In today's episode, we're going to be doing some body work, getting our panels prepped and ready to be wrapped. We're going to be test fitting our brand new wheels. Oscar, you okay back there? I'm so excited to see what they look like. We're going to get our tires put on our wheels and hopefully other fun stuff. Stay tuned. Alright, we just got the car back in the shop after our little first excursion, driving it around on the street. We're going to go ahead and get it on the lift, and Oscar and I are going to take off a front and a back wheel. I'm going to go get... Am I going to give them a sneak peek of the wide body kit? I think I am, huh? Yep, we're going to get a quarter panel put on and one of our wide body over fenders and see how they look with the wheels. But first, the wheels. Alright, so these wheels are Rotiform HURs. We spec'd these out exactly how we wanted them. And I just wanted to start off by kind of showing you. So this is kind of stock Huracan wheel and then the HUR wheel. So you can see there's kind of some design and some styling aspects that are carrying over because we did want these wheels to still look somewhat Lamborghini. So it's almost like a mixture between this wheel and a Diablo wheel, like kind of futuristic. I really like it. We went wider all the way around so it'd be better on the street, just have a lot more grip and stuff like that, and it would just obviously look a lot better and match our wide body kit. So this is normally 8 or 9, 8.5, can't really remember. This is now 10 with the offset to push the wheel out 2 inches more towards the face because this this fender, the Super Fareoh fender, brings the front out 2 inches wider in the front. And then now it gets really crazy when we get over here to the back. There's the width of a stock Huracan wheel, and then we're over here with the width of our new wheel, our 14-inch wide rears that stick out an extra 4 inches in the front. It's insane. It looks so awesome. I'm so happy about it. I just, man, I love the look and the color style that we chose. So you do black on the very inner barrel because it hides dirt a lot better, and then we went with this kind of gunmetal-y color, and then just the finished raw aluminum right here on the front. They look so good. Huge thanks to Rotiform for sponsoring us on this build, guys. We're going to put a link in the description to their website. If you want a flashy set of wheels, they're a big supporter of a lot of YouTubers at SEMA this year, and they look so cool. So huge thanks to Rotiform for hooking us up. Now, let's go ahead and put a rear fender down and then our over fender so we can start to see if all this width is going to be too much. I decided to not show you guys that with the wide body kit on it because I don't want to spoil the wide body kit. That's going to come in a couple days episode. The wide body-ness is basically done. We're going to have it get wrapped. We'll put it on the car when we have the wheels and tires and show you guys, but spoiler alert, it fits and it looks fantastic. We're very happy about that, so that's awesome. And if anybody's wondering for like drag racing and transportation, it's going to be something that's closer to the size of a stock Huracan wheel on the front and the back, because this won't even fit on a trailer now that it's 8 inches wider. Lamborghini's already very wide cars. Yeah, this won't fit on our trailer, so it'll transport with those wheels, and then for drag racing we'll have slicks that are smaller, and we'll run, you know, a quarter panel just like this, and it'll all be black and it'll all be good. And then for street, we'll apply the wide body kit on top of it. Now that we got our wheels test fit, we got to pop them off so they can go get tires put on them tomorrow, which we will show you tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and tear this whole thing down. Oscar's going to get back to work on his back scaffolding. The next morning, first thing I want to do this morning is pick up some metal. So we are at Metal Supermarkets, which is our sponsor for today's episode. You guys know that we use Metal Supermarkets to source all of the materials for the build. So all of the custom aluminum pieces that you see like Oscar welding on and everything that we're building out of metal, all the metal comes right from here. As we come down to like SEMA crunch time like it is right now, this place is very key because they have a huge, very large selection, and I can come in and just get a bunch of things all at once very quickly. For instance, today I got a neck for our air to water intercooler cooler reservoir. I got ducting aluminum. I got stainless to help with our exhaust manifolds. I got stuff for the rear scaffolding. So I got like 5 different things for 5 different projects all at once. This place is great because they have no minimum order quantity, so you don't have to buy more than you want, and they can cut things to size so you can make sure that you have the right size for your project. And if you don't have like the ability to cut big thick metal and stuff like that, it can be really nice to get a bunch of pieces all cut up for you. They're great people in here. They always help us out, make sure that we're getting what we need or maybe not getting what we don't need. And they're very, very fast and very efficient, get me on my way very quickly. So I appreciate the hell out of these guys, and I want to thank them so much for sponsoring this episode. Guys, there's going to be a link in the description. Go to metalsupermarkets.com or click that link and find a store near you and get a quote started and check them out. Keep them in mind for the next project that you need a piece of metal, any type. This is the place to go. All right, now let's head to the shop and use some of this stuff. Just got to the shop and saw these guys parked out front. It looks like our tires are going on our wheels. I want to give these guys a huge shout out. They're out here doing this for free to help us out. And these are not easy tires to install on these wheels because it's quite the stretch being such a wide wheel. So I'll show you guys a little bit more when we get into the shop, but we're stretching a 245 over a 10-inch wheel right here. And then the rear is just getting balanced right now, and then we'll show you what that looks like. But it's insanely wide. They have a really, really cool setup here. I don't even understand what half this machinery is, but this is dope. We got the wheels on the car and I am not disappointed. Let me give a huge shout out to Nitto as well. You guys know our tire sponsor, Nitto. They hooked us up big time. These are some really, really awesome tires. They're the same tires, the Invo series that I have on the green Huracan, but obviously we're stretching, real big stretch on a 345 to fit a 14-inch wheel. But that's because that's the widest tire I believe that they make. And it looks really, really good. Now, they actually offered, they said, well, if you don't like the stretch on the front, we can go ahead and get you some meatier tires on the front so there's not as much stretch. But as we tested our steering lock, so you know when you go to a Super Fareoh, they actually cut some of this stuff away and build in a piece through here, and we're probably not going to do that. For SEMA even, we might just remove this tab right here, clean up the paint, and call it good. I'm not sure. We're going to look into that depending on time, but basically the tire, if we go any bigger, any wider on that tire, we're not going to be able to turn. So we're at the maximum, and I think it looks good. The front matching the back with the amount of stretch. But damn, these look fantastic. It is really hard to fill out that wheel fender area on a Super Fareoh Lamborghini because it does widen the car by like 2 inches, and this for racing wants to sit really, really high off the tire. That's called a fender. I cannot get over how wide that rear tire is. That looks so good. And remember guys, our body kit fits up really, really, really nicely with this. Even with the stretch, it's gonna look really good. Oh man, this is a big inspiration. All right, so moving on to today, Kyle and I, well, what Kyle's working on, we're not going to show on film yet. How about me? I've got to start working on the bodywork side of the world. So almost every single one of these pieces has issues because they were right off of a race car. So they've got, you know, say this one we're not using, right? But this has got a crack. This is really similar to some of the things that you'll see. The latches are broken here. These have had a really rough life. So I need to start getting enough of them fixed up that they can go off to wrap, and we can start getting stuff wrapped every day. So I'm gonna haul a bunch of this stuff into the paint booth and get started. We are in it now. All right, I want to give you guys a quick update. So this, I need to sand this down, flatten it out. It should be good to go. That's the hood done with. We had a lot of rock pitting Back here, because I'm assuming they had no vinyl wrap on it, rocks got into there. These are, you know, molded pieces made by Lamborghini too, so they have mold imperfections because, like I said, race parts. Got to sand that down, that'll be done. Got to sand that down and that'll be done. So that's the two front fenders and the front hood. Then I've got through the bumper somewhat far, but I got to decide what type of line I want to cut through here, get my straight edge, straighten out that line, do the same matching over here. Then we have a lot of these weird they seem like plug holes. They're very uniform. Those all got to get filled in. And a little bit more filler work because this bumper was ripped in half at one point. So we got a little bit more body filler work and we'll sand that out. So I'd say I'm about a third of the way done, and I'm trying to get at least all the major body parts done so they can go off and get wrapped tomorrow, so it's gonna be a long night. Coming back in the shop, Oscar just got here. He's been working on the rear scaffolding. He's gonna tack weld these things in a little bit harder, and then we're gonna start disassembling this and take a break on the rear scaffolding for a while because we need to pull the engine in preparation for painting the frame tomorrow. There's also some upgrades we're doing on exhaust manifolds, all sorts of stuff. So engine's coming out for the last time. So a big disassembly. And Kyle is over here reassembling our green Lambo door. He's been doing a lot of door composite work lately, and we were borrowing this for a project, and it's not being borrowed anymore, but you guys will be happy to know that we got the right window glass for the convertible with the rounded edge over here. So this guy will be going to SEMA as well, so if you see a lime green convertible Huracan, there's probably a 1 in 10 chance that it's mine. If you see Kyle driving around in it, then it's ours. So anyways, right window going on in the car, getting that thing ready for SEMA as well. Alright, bodywork update. I got the hood done. We got the two fenders. Those are done. The rear bumper is done. This needed the most work out of everything. We still, before this goes off to wrap, we still need to cut these lines again, but that's pretty much done. So I'm moving on to the front bumper. I gotta peel the vinyl wrap off of this one, and then there's a big crack right here, so I gotta kind of see how far the damage goes and then repair this area and anything else I find while I'm in there. The engine is out. Oscar has pulled the engine and the trans and the fuel tanks and the oil coolers and all sorts of stuff that we need to have out for paint tomorrow. Oscar has got it out for us. So now there's some finishing touches he wants to do before painting. He's gonna go ahead and clean some of these up and then weld on our our bracket broke off for our oil filter, remote mount oil filter thingy mount. So he's gonna do that as well. And then this thing will be ready for paint. It's getting late. I'm starting to forget even what's going on. We're almost there. I got all the vinyl off of the front bumper and got it sanded down and a layer of body filler on it. That's gonna need to dry up overnight. Also this, because we have to build all these front splitters and like really crazy stuff into it, it's gonna be the very, very last thing to get wrapped. So that's all good. Last thing I'm gonna do tonight is this side skirt. The vinyl came off just fine. It didn't peel any of the paint with it, but this one you can see a bunch of it's it's like kind of clear coat, gloss coat peeled up. So I have to kind of feather those edges out so it doesn't leave any hard edge between the paint and the primer underneath. That way when we wrap over it, you won't see any weirdness. All right, that's the side skirt all smoothed out, ready to be wrapped. Other ones ready to be wrapped. Let's see how Oscar's doing in the other shop. Looking good, looking really good. So those are ready for paint, and our remote oil filter bracket is welded on. Everything tomorrow will need to be cleaned up really well. That got, oh, that was yellow paint I put on there before. Never mind, don't focus on that. Anyways, everything will get cleaned up tomorrow and the frame will get painted. So that was, today was day 7. That's a wrap on day 7. Tomorrow means 6 days left to finish off this project. We got a lot to do. So we all need to get home very quickly and go to sleep. So thank you guys so much for the support. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch the end of this madness and figure out how in the world we're going to make it to SEMA with a complete build. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace!